Peace. Campaign show live Monday motivation. We live. Welcome to the campaign live show. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Today we on some health and wellness and social, personal health warfare, health, wellness, well-being, nutrition, and just the overall struggle and warfare against enemies in the environment, enemies in our bloodstream, any enemies internally and enemies externally. So this is what this show is about. You see the little meme right there that says, "Are our parasites actually demonic entities?" The demonic entities that's spoken of in the Bible. And I came across this. I did a live on my personal channel, my West Coast Cam channel. You can go check that out earlier today on this subject. West Coast Cam on YouTube. Go over there and subscribe. Check that out. I'm going to go over some of the same things over here for my digital soapbox audience, because this is very vital. This is probably some of the most important information that you ever going to get from me physically, on a physical health war scale, because knowledge of self information is also priceless and most important. But this regarding our health and wellness, physical health I should say, and it applies to our mental health. So I don't know the name of the person who did this video. It's a white dude, sound like he's from Great Britain or London or some, got an accent. But the concepts that he talking about in here is kind of rooted in the Bible and in Christianity concepts. But in principle, we don't have to get into the religious belief, but in principle, they make perfect sense. So if you can see these little pictures right here, that's pictures of microscopic parasites, but blown up, they look like demons and monsters and dragons and all kind of stuff, right? So that's actually very accurate. So I'm gonna play this right now since we passed the 2-minute mark. Fair use. This is fair use, but I want y'all to listen up.
I have an interesting theory about the unclean spirits and the herd of pigs. So in Matthew 8, it says that there were 2 demon-possessed men that came out of the tombs, and they were so fierce that no one could pass that way. And behold, when they saw Jesus, they said, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" And he asked them, "What is your name?" And they said, "We are Legion, for we are many." Right now, Legion is between 2,000 to 5,000. And it just so happened to be that there were a herd of pigs nearby, and the demons begged him, saying, "Cast us into the herd of pigs." And these herd of pigs were numbering about 2,000. 2,000 demons, 2,000 pigs. Now this is where it starts to get interesting. And he said to them, "Go." So they came out and went into the pigs. And the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and perished in the waters. Keep this in mind. They would prefer to perish in the waters rather than be cast into the pit. Now it is believed that the unclean spirits that went out into the pigs, the legion of 2,000, are actually the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, the giants before the flood. Remember, God flooded the earth to cleanse the immense wickedness, but also that the Nephilim would perish in the waters. Their physical bodies perished in the waters, but their spirit remained, the disembodied spirit of the Nephilim. Now I believe that it was deliberate that it was a herd of pigs in particular, because pigs contain an excess amount of parasites, and pigs are unclean. Now parasites can cause rage, insomnia, gut issues, suicidal tendencies, running pigs off into the waters to be perished, cravings, urges, and much more. And we know also that the Nephilim were mighty men. They had great strength.
Fair use, fair use. Just keep on listening. I'm going to go back over this after it's finished. There's about 2 more minutes left. Fair use.
Legion breaks shackles, right? It caused the men to be strong. And the demons, the unclean spirits, also cause torment of the mind and body. So parasites cause torment of the mind and body also. Some can even control it. Spirits also have a stronger will than humans, and trauma gives access to demons. The two men were trapped in the tombs because the tombs represent that they were trapped in the past, and their past, their trauma, gave access to these demons. And I theorize that parasites are like a physical gateway for the demonic spirits, besides the trauma. So that's why we should always detox from parasites using things like clove and garlic and wormwood, and not to mention we need a binder for the toxins that they'll release. And so we use zeolite as a binder to be cleansed of these unclean spirits and all of these parasites.
So you heard it right there. That sound like he from Ireland, maybe Irish or British, Great Britain. So we're gonna disregard all of the images, you know, the Aryan, white, Caucasian images of God and giants and Nephilim and all of that, because, you know, clearly it's culturally biased. It's showing them as, you know, God is white and Jesus is white and whoever else is white. But we're not really paying attention to that. We really paying attention to the concept. We can learn from anybody. We can learn from devils. We can learn from Satans. We can learn from demons. We can learn from fools, ignorant. You know, we can learn from ops, enemies. So I don't know this person. I don't know what their motivation is, but I do know that they are absolutely on to something with this comparison and this analogy of parasites, meaning microscopic parasites, in comparison to the so-called biblical demons or serpents, or, you know, because a worm is a serpent, right? So if it's a microscopic worm, that's still a serpent. If it grows into something like a 5-foot tapeworm, a dragon, you know, with extra power that's taken to control and set your mood and set your appetite and change your chemical balance in the human body, which is possession takes possession of us, then that's also something. But then it's a whole people. It's a whole people, a parasitic serpent, worm, demon people also. That's the macrocosm. The microcosm, you know, is the little microscopic version. The macrocosm of this enemy, demon, serpent, dragon is a specific race of people. It's a specific kind of man or mankind. So let's go into this one more time, and we're gonna break it down bit by bit.
I have an interesting theory about the unclean spirits and the herd of pigs. So
let's talk about the Bible, the unclean spirits and the herd of pigs. Anytime you hear the Bible or the Quran mention animals, it's not really talking about animals. It's talking about the characteristics in human beings. It's talking about certain human beings with that animal characteristic. So if it's pigs, it's talking about a certain type of greedy, unclean, filthy people. If it's talking about sheep, it's talking about us, the harmless prey that wolves and other beasts capture us and, you know, and devour us. If it's talking about snakes or serpents or vipers, it's talking about that type of quality of a human being. So when it's talking about pigs, it's talking about a specific type of people. But spirit, the word spirit only means emotions. I talked about this in my earlier live. Spirit only means emotions. There's no such thing as spirit. Does not mean mind or intelligence or whatever. Spirit is a product. Spirit is a byproduct of mind. Mind or thoughts produce spirit. Spirit is just the emotional product. Emotional product or result or effect of thoughts, certain type of thoughts. So certain type of thoughts can produce good spirits. Good spirits. Certain type of thoughts can produce evil spirits or negative spirits. That's all spirit means, is emotion in this context. Because spirit also means atoms or molecules or the breath of life, oxygen and nitrogen. But that's not what this is talking about. There's no such thing as evil oxygen or evil nitrogen. So evil spirits don't apply to atoms in this case. It applies to emotions, the emotional product, the product of emotion that comes from negative thoughts or trauma or pain or grief or, you know, thoughts. That's the thoughts are also the product of trauma or the product of poisoning, the product of being deficient or depleted in necessary vitamins and minerals and nutrients. So we're going to get into the science of this, the provable, natural, flesh and blood, down to earth science of this Bible talk and all this spooky spiritual ghost story talk. So it's talking about spirits. From now on out, when you hear him say spirits, he's talking about emotion, the natural emotion, the negative emotion. If you're talking about evil spirits, the negative emotion caused by physical trauma, caused by trauma to the physical body or the physical chemical balance or imbalance that was caused by some type of trauma or some type of poisoning. So let's listen again. Keep that in mind.
Unclean spirits and the herd of pigs. So in Matthew 8, it says that there were 2 demon-possessed men that came out of the tombs, and they were so fierce that no one could pass that way.
2 demon-possessed men that came out of the tomb. So you see what race they are. They look like Captain Caveman. So the tomb really means the caves. 2 unclean men that came out of a cave life, living in the jungle or the caves, I should say, hilltops, hillsides, and caves and treetops that are full of, you know, especially if you don't know how to cook your food, you eating raw food, you eating blood like the beast of the field, full of bacteria and worms and parasites. And if you know right now, you know, people that love to eat sushi or love to eat rare beef or steak or whatever, that's full of worms, full of parasites. And actually that is the microscopic beginning of demons. And those demons take over, they become an infestation, and then they change the chemical balance of the human body, makes it a toxic environment, a neurotoxins environment, which are the breeding ground for more and more little demons or more and more little parasitic worms. Worms are serpents. Worms are snakes, serpents that are intelligent parasites that their whole goal and function in nature is to suck your blood. So, you know, like the 10% blood sucker, the human parasite, 10% blood sucker, Satan, human species. So that's what happens inside of our bodies. The environment is created because of a savage physical condition, savage or unnatural. It started with the sons of God that saw the daughters of men, sons of God meaning original black people, that saw a new people, a new female that was opposite. Opposites attract. The daughters of men, meaning the daughters of the new Adamic race that was fair or light or, you know, white, opposite to them, and they took them wives, all that they chose. That means that they was both physical. They both was flesh and blood human beings that had penises and testicles and vaginas, and they had children with them. But the mixing of those fluids and the mixing of that DNA produced a different type of environment that wasn't supposed to be mixed. And if y'all know, a lot of, you know, bacteria and viruses and a lot of things come from mixing fluids and mixing, you know, body parts that ain't supposed to be mixed by nature. And it produced that type of environment. And even though it produced what they call giants or Nephilim, that's the, you know, the product of the sons of God and the daughters of men, meaning the black original males who started going into the white non-original females and producing children because it was sex, clearly. So, but then those Nephilim became mighty men, and they was called giants. It don't mean that they was physical giants like they was 15 feet tall. They was mental and emotional giants. They had a different nature that none of the parents could understand. So those children devoured the parents according to the Bible, if you understand what that means. They had a nature and they had a a makeup that neither parent knew what to do with, knew how to guide, knew how to feed, knew how to control. So that Nephilim, or those new offspring that was made out of good and evil, it was made out of the knowledge of the tree of good and evil, God and devil. Nobody on the planet knew what to do with that. And those is the people, if I'm not mistaken, that gave the God so much problems, because they were so set in their ways because of this new environment that produced the breeding ground for these new little parasitic worms, this serpent that was in the serpent that was in the garden, that they were so set in their ways. You couldn't break, the God couldn't exercise their demons. He said they mind was continuously on the doing of evil. So it grieved the God at his heart that he ever even made them and allowed that to happen on the earth. So what did he do? He wiped them out, according to the Bible, in a flood of water, right? He didn't wipe out the parasites. He wiped out those particular hosts that he couldn't exercise. He couldn't cast their demons out. He couldn't stop them. He couldn't break their addictions. He couldn't break, the mental condition that them parasites had them in. Them demons, them little microscopic worm demons had them in a certain mental condition that had them only wanting to do weakness and wickedness and lust and appetite and, the bestial type of things. So keep that in mind, and let's keep on listening. But yeah, these is two people that was in the tomb or the cave. You see what they look like.
It says that there were two demon-possessed men that came out of the tombs, and they were so fierce that no one could pass that way. And behold, when they saw Jesus, they said, "What have you to do with us, O Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?"
Said the demon said, "Why are you here, Jesus? What have you to do with us? Are you here to torment us before the time?" Before what time? Before the 6 days that we gave them to rule. And on the 7th day, they be laid to rest. 6 days means 1,000 years each. A day is as the 1,000 years with the Lord. So 6 days means 6,000 years. Jesus came in at the 4,000th year. Jesus came at the 4,000th year. So they thought that he was there to get rid of them or exorcise them or cast them out or destroy them. And he's like, "Are you here before time?" And he's like, no, he realized, this is what we taught in NOI, that the Jesus of 2,000 years ago, he found out heartbreakingly that he was not the Christ. He thought he was on time. He thought he was the man that was supposed to conquer Satan and take Satan and his world off the planet. But he realized, he found out that he was 2,000 years too soon. So he gave his life for the truth that he stood for and recognized. And then he prophesied of one that was coming after him that would guide us into all truth, and that would be the Christ, and that would take care of everything at the end of the world. But he realized, just like them demons realized, it wasn't time yet. We still got 2,000 years left. So are you here to try to persecute us and cast us out before time? And it wasn't time. So he sent those particular demons, or those particular, he didn't destroy them. He just redirected them and identified them as pigs or swine. Y'all are swine. So I'm identified now. I can't get rid of you yet because I was too soon and I'm heartbroken. But I'm identify, I'm not going to get, it is too soon, but I'm identify y'all as swine, human swine.
And he asked them, "What is your name?" And they said, "We are Legion, for we are many." Right now, Legion is between 2,000 to 5,000.
He said, talking about asking the parasites, asking the demons, "What is your name?" The demons said, "Our name is We." Have you ever seen Venom, that Marvel comic character, that little supposed to be an alien demon thing? He called himself We. We are Venom. We are. He said, "Our name is We. We are Legion." You know what I'm saying? So if I'm talking to one of you, I'm talking to all of you. If you see one roach, he represents a legion of roaches. You see one rat, how did he get there? He had a mother and a father, and he got a family. So he said, we are legions. So we can't even conquer until we multiply, until we produce an infestation. We have to be an infestation in your body to be able to conquer you and control you and possess you. We have to be an infestation on the planet in order to conquer the planet and control the planet and take over the planet, possess the planet. So he said, we are legion. We don't have to be outnumbered. We don't have to outnumber you. We just have to outnumber this particular host, or outnumber your ability to resist us. So if we can, like a pandemic, like with Fauci and all of them, and why they was allegedly using snake venom in such and such and so, snake venom, serpent, worm, demon. So if you can bombard the population or bombard an organism, immune system faster than they're able to generate the immunity or the white blood cells or the black blood cells to fight it, then you can conquer, you can take over that host. And that's what they was allowed to do. God did that. God made the devil as a parasite that can shock and awe the earth, the immune system and the people of the earth, to force them, the natural inhabitants of the earth, to it's either going to wipe you out or you're going to hurry up and mutate and develop an immunity, a herd immunity, or a mass immunity, to where you can fight that off and eventually kill it. But that first wave, which is going to last 6,000 years, is going to knock down there everything. That first wave, that first pandemic, that human pandemic of demonic worm parasite possessions of the planet, is going to knock down a whole lot of individuals until the ones that survive produce the antibody or the antidote. In this case, is Master Fard Muhammad is the antidote that the original human nation produced as a result of the Satan human serpent pandemic that's been on the planet for the last 6 days.
And it just so happened to be that there were a herd of pigs nearby, and the demons begged him, saying, cast us into the herd of pigs. And these herd of pigs were numbering about 2,000. 2,000 demons, 2,000 pigs. Now this is where it starts to get interesting. And he said to them, go. So they came out and went into the pigs. And the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and perished in the waters. Keep this in mind. They would prefer to perish in the waters rather than be cast into the pit.
So the host perished. The hosts is what perished. The demons don't perish until you discover what they are and then discover how to destroy them. So just because there's a pandemic of this parasite or this virus or whatever, just because it wipes out a whole population, that didn't kill the parasite. That didn't kill the virus. It just wiped out the hosts, right? But the virus is still present until you find out exactly what germ or parasite or what cause, what worm or whatever that was that caused that. After a while, is going to come back. So if God destroyed the people of Noah in Noah's Ark time because their mind was continuously on doing evil, so they was possessed by evil thoughts or evil spirits, evil desires, that was set by the parasites that was in them. Yeah, even if you wipe all of them out, and then Noah, is on the ark and he floats, and then after the flood is over and he the only one left allegedly on the planet, and he start repopulating the earth. We know it didn't go like that, but eventually you're gonna run into the same parasites. You're gonna run into the same germs and bacteria, and it's gonna happen again. So the earth will never be safe and free until you find out exactly what that is and what allowed the environment for parasites and worms to take over, to multiply and become infested and change the whole biological system, chemical balance, and create a whole toxic, neurotoxic environment for parasites and demons and worms and serpents or whatever to be able to thrive and drain the blood, the 10% blood suckers of the poor, meaning poor in knowledge. They don't have the knowledge. My people is destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So they're poor when it comes to knowledge of God, self, the enemy, parasites. So they destroyed. But when we find out exactly what's causing it, and that's what's going on right now, as Farrakhan has been exposing and exercising the macrocosm, the macro human serpent. At the same time, the micro serpent is being exposed, and it's being shown and explained how to cast out those demons and get rid of the diseases that we've been getting took out with for the last 6,000 years. All of it has been rooted in parasitic demon worms and germs and fungus and virus and microbes and all of that. We learned that from smallpox in the blanket. We just didn't know at that time. We didn't know the science behind parasites and worms and viruses and bacteria. Now we do. Just as the macro human Satan serpent is being exposed and we know who he is, now we're also learning his counterpart, his microscopic counterpart, which is the microscopic parasitic worm infections and infestations that's caused all of these, diseases and deaths among our people. So let's keep on going.
Now, it is believed that the unclean spirits that went out into the pigs, the Legion of 2000, are actually the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, the giants before the flood. Remember,
the Nephilim, the giants before the flood. It says it's the disembodied spirits. So we said earlier what spirits really meant. Spirits really just mean emotion, the product of trauma, the product of poison or imbalance, right? The product of that. So it ain't no ghost spirits flying around or whatever. No, you could see the results. Like if somebody, you have them little rosaries or something on the side of the freeway, if somebody actually lose their life to some violence or some crazy, evil violence on the side of the street, and you put like a little altar right there, then the memory of that's still an emotional memory. So that's what they mean by disembodied spirit, right? The person that suffered that is no longer here, but you witnessed it or you heard the story of it, which incites emotion, fear and negative and whatever, anger, evil emotion. Emotion is spirit. Oh, I'm in bad spirits because somebody told me that's what such and such died at. And I see the little blood stain still on the street. Now you just hit me with an evil spirit. Now I'm in an evil spirit. I'm in an angry spirit. I'm in a sad, depressed spirit. Spirit just means your emotional response, your emotional condition. So disembodied spirits basically just means negative ghost stories. Somebody told you a story, you was feeling cool, or you just watched a movie, you was feeling cool till you watched that scary movie. Now that spirit or that emotional reaction to that story or whatever affected your mood, affected your peace, and affected your health. Because if you get too scared and you get to dumping adrenaline and you start stripping down the stress is causing you to strip down your immune system, then it can create the environment for the worms and the parasites to breed and reproduce. Then you get fungal infections and bacterial yeast infections and candida infections, overgrowth. Start having all kind of breakouts and all kind of stuff because you don't even realize the enemy on the microscopic level and how he's connected to his master, which is the human serpent, the big one. The human serpent knows how to affect you and to where his microscopic little serpent children can take hold and take over.
God flooded the earth to cleanse the immense wickedness, but also that the Nephilim would perish in the waters. Their physical bodies perished in the waters, but their spirit remained, the disembodied spirit of the Nephilim. Now, I believe that it was deliberate that it was a herd of pigs in particular, because pigs contain an excess amount of parasites, and pigs are unclean.
So pigs represent who? If we represent sheep, we're the lost sheep. Behold, I send you out as sheep among wolves. We're the lost sheep. That's the animal that represents us, the sheep. What race represents the pig? What race loves bacon and loves pork chops and feeds it to us and gives, they raise pigs and they got cartoons, Porky Pig, and, they got all these little piggy banks, everything. And they love to do transplants. Well, we gave you a pig heart, the first pig heart transplant. Like what race of people always loves the pig and loves to eat all throughout the day, don't have no shyness, you know what I'm saying? It has all of the characteristics of the pig. Because we know we represent the black sheep. We represent the sheep. Who represents the pig or the goat?
Now, parasites can cause rage, insomnia, gut issues, suicidal tendencies, running pigs off into the waters to be perished, cravings, urges, and much more. And we know also.
So we know that. I know that for certain. So much of the dementia, the Alzheimer's, the depression, the anxiety, the panic attacks, the psychosis, the bipolar, the schizophrenia, all of that is caused and products of parasitic infection. They're even saying that the C word that so many black people is dying from, these tumors and all of that. A lot of people is saying, I'm not a medical professional. You can research it for yourself, saying that a lot of that was diet such and such, and it's actually parasitic lumps of parasitic eggs and parasitic clusters that they misdiagnosed as the C word. And they start giving you chemotherapy and start giving you radiation and all this other stuff. But then, when it comes to parasite, I got to be careful because this ain't my page. So y'all can fill in the blanks. Then different results, different positive results happen. If it's treated like parasite infection, if it's treated like a dewormer, a person having worms, it seems to have a, profound positive effect. So I would say research it yourself. Don't just take my word for it. This is just, educational. It's just opinion and educational. I'm not a doctor, a medical doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I don't make no medical claims. Anything that you hear me say or read or whatever, consult with your doctor, your physician, your official, American licensed healthcare professional. You know what I'm saying?
Be perished, cravings, urges, and much more. And we know also that the Nephilim were mighty men. They had great strength. The legion breaks shackles, right? It caused the men to be strong. And
said the legion caused the great men to be strong, but strong at what? I said on my earlier live, it didn't cause them to be strong in righteousness. It caused them to be strong and set in their ways for material gain or pleasure seeking, lower level, lower frequency pursuits, money, food, female, sex, status, control, all of the same characteristics of parasites. The same characteristics of a parasite is what these parasites inspired in their hosts. They became strong in the pursuit of conquering other innocent people, conquering other nations, not trying to live in harmony and trying to help them and trying to share with them. No, these giants wanted to conquer, right? If you know anything about the story of Moses and Aaron and the Canaanites or whatever, before they can finally get through all the hell they went through, they they didn't just get a free pass into the promised land. They final test is they had to fight some giants, like David and Goliath, like Nephilim, like the product of the sons of man and sons of God and the daughters of men, giants. That just means the greatest adversary warfare struggle for your very existence. The first law of nature, which is self-preservation. So these parasites have evolved just as long as we have. We the one produced them. They've been here for trillions and trillions of years, and they all have intelligence. And the nature of a parasite is to capitalize and to take over and to conquer its host and to live off of its host. You have to be intelligent enough to do that. You have to know how to find the weakness of a particular host, but then keep the host healthy enough that it makes you healthy, that you can live off that host until you drain all the life out of it. And then hopefully by then that host would have spread and shared fluids with some family members and some other people. So now you're living on, in those other hosts, even when the host that you sucking the blood out of dies, you already reproduced yourself as a legion. You already created an infestation in this host. And before this host died, this host infected that host, and that host infected that. Now it's a whole pandemic. So just because one of us dies, legion is still multiplying. The legion of parasites and infections, is spread worldwide. But once we learn the cause and identify the actual cause, the serpent, demon, and the conditions that produce its ability to reproduce, because, if you read the Bible, it also talk about the end of the world. This is how God was first going to expose them and then go about destroying them, starting by making them barren. He's going to start cursing their ability to reproduce. So the macro human serpent birth rate is at 0. They got to be using, all kind of fertility drugs and clinics and all kind of stuff for that macro serpent to be even able to reproduce. But now once we get a knowledge of the micro one and we able to stop it from being able to reproduce, we know how to start using God's natural wormwood, herbs, wormwood, black walnut, black seed oil, oregano oil, carvico oil, not drugs and pharmaceuticals, but God's natural herbs, or the ability to fast, because the Bible also say that Jesus was dealing with his disciples and the disciples was having problems with this particular grade level of demon. And Jesus was like, oh no, that grade level of demon is too strong. You can't cast that out except by fasting and praying. So it's not, and it ain't necessarily that you gotta fast. No, that the host that's been possessed, they got an infestation of parasites. That host got to fast. You got to figure out a way to convince that host to fast. That's the that's the trick. That's the goal. That's the job. I don't need to fast as the one trying to exorcise the demon. I mean, I can fast for the purpose of, praying and being spiritually and mentally sensitive to find out how best to communicate with the demon possessed person, to make them want to listen to me and make them want to hear, what I got to say, meaning that you're possessed and this will help you if you don't eat, or here, take this little herb, take this combination of herbs, because in a lot of cases, those of us that's possessed by demons to that level, we're not cooperating with nothing. If you got somebody that unfortunately is manic depressive, bipolar, schizophrenic, they're not cooperating with you. They're not going to listen to you. They're all the way gone. They're all the way possessed by the toxic effects and the mind control effects of those parasites, the internal parasites and the external parasites and environments and suggestions that's going on in the music and TV and in the streets and all of that. It just reinforces the hellish downward spiral to eventually take your life, to take you out, keep you in a hell and drain your life, drain your money, from hospital and drugs and all of that until you up out of here. So as the human serpent is getting now has been revealed and exposed, and the herbs to get rid of them is now being administered, meaning truth, and the testicles of people that got the heart to tell the truth and expose them scientifically, not Bible story, ghost story stuff, but breaking it down in a real natural, biological and scientific way, like we doing right now. Then you can go get at them right away. You can go get at them. You know what I'm saying? This is, like I said, westcoastcam.com silver, ionic colloidal silver. I just picked up some of this. This is Dr. Artist, the Dr. Artist show. This is called Biodefense. This is called Protein Cleanse or something like that. So I just now picked this up, or it just actually came in the mail. And it's, like I said, full of black seed oil, wormwood, black walnut, oregano oil, lemon balm, all kind of stuff. For all kind of stuff. This is EDTA. So I'm doing this first for myself. I'm not telling y'all what y'all should do. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'll report to y'all. Just like I had the nicotine patch on last week. Had it on for 6 or 7 days, 5, 6 or 7 days, however many came in the pack for 1 week, and I felt the difference immediately. But that's just me. I can't say what it's gonna do for you. But I'm the guinea lamb. I'm not the pig. I'm not the guinea pig, that the parasite's going to be able to run into. I'm the lamb that they running out of. I'm the guinea lamb black sheep that they running out of. And I'm trying to show you this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you please, but I'm going to experiment on myself first. But let's finish this.
The demons, the unclean spirits, also cause torment of the mind and body. So parasites cause torment of the mind and body also. Some can even control it. Spirits also have a stronger will than humans. And
it says spirits also have a stronger will than humans, meaning that traumatic emotions, emotional effects have a stronger effect or stronger will than flesh and blood. Your flesh and blood nature, of course, is strong, but the mind can create psychosomatic illness. Your mind, stress and fear and heartbreak, and grief. All of that can make you sick. All of that can be more powerful than a healthy body. A healthy body can be made sick by emotional, negative emotional thoughts or emotional effects. So that's what he means. He don't know he's saying that, but that's what it means by the spirit. The spirit has a stronger will than flesh.
Trauma gives access to demons. The two men were trapped in the tombs because the tombs represent that they were trapped in the past. And their past, their trauma, gave access to these demons.
Said that the past or that's a different gateway to demons, to producing demons. People that say that I had a miscarriage, women that say I had a miscarriage, that's my little angel, you know what I'm saying, always with me, overlooking me. But then another one say that, well, you had a Planned Parenthood termination. Was that your guardian angel, or is that your demon? Right? So demons represent trauma, whether emotional trauma or physical trauma. Now, physical trauma can override all this parasite stuff. You don't even have to go through all this parasite processes. Physical trauma can get you there right away. Physical trauma can cause immediate demon possession and demon control, you know what I'm saying, because of physical trauma. Physical trauma can mean, violence of a parent or violence of a sex nature when you was little. All of that can skip in front of this parasite line and get you right there to being demon possessed because of emotional trauma and physical trauma that affects us emotionally that don't got nothing to do with parasites. I mean, it's the human parasite that traumatized us, and that physical trauma translates to our emotions, emotional reactions, which breaks down the mental peace, causes stress, causes fear, causes anger, causes that whole environment for your body to become toxic and acidic and breed, the perfect environment for the little parasites to come in and set up shop, to come behind the emotional, violent demon possession that opened the door. So if you see this right here, this is a great comparison. On one side, it's a parasite, the microscopic parasite. And then on the other side is the fairy tale legend of what a demon in the Bible, whatever is supposed to allegedly look like or do like. And they say, number one, a demon has the power to influence your mind and fill your mind with destructive thoughts. So both of these represent that. So on the left, the microscopic version has the power to influence our mind because it's a parasite. It's robbing you of all of the nutrients. It's creating toxic environment, imbalance. This is what gives rise to mood swings and depressions and anxieties and nightmares and schizophrenia and bipolar, all of that. The microscopic parasites do that, and humans can do that, right? On the level of human violations and interactions. Two, they can have influence on the dream realm. We already know that if you're physically sick, or if you got some kind of infection or whatever, you absolutely going to have nightmares. You absolutely going to not be able to sleep well. So that automatically is going to affect your dreams. Absolutely. Three, possession. Demon possession usually involves becoming sick or constantly tired or fatigued or lazy or lacking strength. You don't have the strength to do this. You don't have the spirit or the motivation to do that. And you sick. You know what I'm saying? So that affects you emotionally. Whatever you're going through physically automatically affects you emotionally. And that's what the spirit is. I'm in bad spirits because I'm sick. I'm in bad spirits because my head hurts. I'm in bad spirit, my stomach hurts. Or I'm in bad spirits because my mom just passed away, or my daddy just passed away. I just got a diagnosis that I got cancer, or I got this, or I got that. So it's automatically going to chip away and deal a heavy blow to your mind, to your emotions. 4, spiritual powers and ambitions begin to diminish. They talking about righteous, positive, cheerful, faithful spiritual powers or emotional states of mind start to diminish. You start losing your faith. You start having doubts and suspicions and why me, and even being on some self-righteousness. I didn't do nothing wrong. This shouldn't happen to me. Life ain't fair. God ain't fair. God ain't real. If God was real, why did he let this happen to me when I was a little girl or when I was a little boy? So your spiritual powers of faith and hope, and it says, and ambition begin to diminish or get destroyed all the way, altogether. Your faith just breaks. 5, it says over extreme sexual desires that can never be fulfilled. You turn into a freak. You know what I'm saying? You start pleasure seeking, or what you think is pleasure. It ain't just got to be sex. It could be food. It could be alcohol. It could be cigarettes. It could be weed. It can be, whatever it is that ain't healthy for us. But it comes over extreme desires and turns into addiction. And then 6 is there's material and egotistical desires. that end up driving the person that insane or driving the possessed person crazy or mad, because they got a obsession with money, get the bag, or obsession with looking a certain way. Well, I just got to get me a BBL. I got to have some fake hair. I got to have, like, I can't walk out the house without this. So you become egotistically obsessed and narcissistic. A narcissist means that you lusting over yourself, your own image, your own appearance means more than anything. You can't walk out the house with your natural self, looking like your natural self. All of that signs of parasite infection or demon possession. You can't even be your natural self, because you're not your natural self. You're not your original self, because something else is controlling you. On the inside, parasites is controlling you. On the outside, human parasites, peer pressure, negative influences, material, whatever, all of that is affecting you. Parasites on the inside, parasites on the outside. This is where it's coming from, though. It starts on the microscopic level. It starts on the inside. My job is just to tell you that. My job is just to get your blood off my hands. My job is just to give you good news. This is good news. This is the greatest news. Is one side is mental and spiritual and academic greatest news, which we identifying who the human parasite, worm, serpent, demon is, or Satan is. But what about the ones that's inside of us? I mean, that race was inside of us too. We gave it a human form and let it fully express itself, and we see that it enslaved us and destroyed the planet, contaminated everything. But what about its little microscopic ingredients? What do those people represent on a microscopic level? What are the microscopic things that represent what this Satan is in human form? It's parasites. You know what I'm saying? It's parasites. It's blood suckers. It's something that possesses you. You become its host. It drains the life out of you. It drains the blood, the life force out of you. Drains the happiness and the cheer. Drains the hope and the faith. Drains the health and the power. Drains the beauty out of you. Drains the natural love out of you. That's a Satan. They just come to kill, steal, and destroy. Whatever it said, Satan, parasites, they have purpose. They have purpose. God created parasites. Parasites are not evil. But if the devil can deceive you or poison you into creating an environment that's off balance, that's unnatural, that's an imbalance, then it's gonna allow a new thing to happen, which is called a parasite infestation. Because parasites really is supposed to be there to help, like a leech. A leech is there to help suck out the poison. You know what I'm saying? Leeches can be your best friend. Like, we got antibodies, we got bacteria and viruses or whatever. That's good bacteria. That's good viruses, right? We got parasites. That's good parasites. That's supposed to eat away, other poison critters or whatever. But if all of that gets knocked off balance, then every parasite becomes a deadly situation. So the human parasites understood that, especially once they start learning science. Once they start learning science and biology and virology and epidemiology and immunology, like I said, the first ones in America that was on that time was the smallpox and the blanket pilgrims. They realized, we don't have to use muskets and bombs and bow and arrows and hatchets and spears and swords and shields. All we got to use is these parasitic worms and these viruses, these bacteria, smallpox in a blanket. Here, native indigenous, here's our gift. You know what I'm saying? Our gift to you. We didn't have to fire one shot. So they didn't know it, but now we blessed to now all of this is being revealed. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Are we going to say, no, Fauci said, or my doctor said such and such? You know what I'm saying? No, ask your doctor about it. Ask your doctor, is a parasite cleanse right for you? Like the Dr. Artist dude be saying. Salute Dr. Artist. Y'all should all check him out. The Dr. Artist, ARDIS, Ardis, not artist, Ardis, ARDIS, Dr. Ardis show. But you see the comparison, and it's absolutely correct. This is absolutely true. This is absolutely correct. The little meme or stuff that I'm playing, I'm not saying that all that's spooky religious Christian interpretation. I'm not saying that's correct. I'm telling you the real down to earth principle, the scientific, biological, mathematical, natural principle is absolutely correct.
And I theorized that parasites are like a physical gateway for the demonic spirits, besides the trauma. So that's why we should always detox from parasites using things like clove and garlic and wormwood, and not to mention we need a binder for the toxins that they'll release. And so we use zeolite as a binder to be cleansed of these unclean spirits and all of these parasites.
So, he was promoting, I guess, a particular product, something that had zeolite or called zeolite that had that in it. But I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying that this is the study. This is the study course that we all must go under. Whatever you thought you were studying that was important, no, other than the knowledge of who the real God and the real devil is, this is the most important subject. This is the warfare subject that's been taking us out. This is the warfare that's been planned against us. This is the subject. Learn what the proper protocol for detoxing parasites and worms is. I'm not going to tell you it. I showed you earlier what I'm into right now, and products I done got that I'm testing out. I can't vouch for them because I don't know them. I ain't, but I'm testing them out. I know black seed oil. Find the best quality, organic, best quality, highest potency black seed oil that you can find. Black seed oil. Absolutely do that. Black seed oil and wormwood. Black seed oil and wormwood. Those is two things. You ain't got to rely on this particular dude or that particular dude. Go get it wherever you could find it at that you trust the quality is the best. Black seed oil and wormwood. Yeah, and then of course you can get black walnut. You can get oregano oil, lemon balm, BALM. But this is the subject right here. This is the subject that's going to save our lives, or what we're going to lose our situation over. Health. You're going to have to take charge of your own health. You're going to have to become independent researchers and experimenters with God's natural herbs and fasting, natural vitamins and minerals. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking against the pharmaceutical industry or the FDA or the CDC. I'm not speaking against them, but I'm telling you, it's your responsibility. Your life, God gave you your own life. Is your and my responsibility to learn as much as we can to protect it and learn how it's being taken. Learn how our health and our happiness and our heaven is being robbed from us and drained from us and depleted. How our immune systems is being attacked and what it is that we can use to fight back. That's it, right? Because God is doing the rest. Whoever God you believe in, God is already showing you that he's causing the human serpents to become barren. They can't reproduce. Why can't they reproduce? What happened? What knowledge or what has been released that they can't reproduce? So they have to construct and devise their own weapons that seem to affect our ability to reproduce, because they see that the God has affected their ability to reproduce. So what should we learn about how to stop the little mini micro parasites from reproducing inside of us or inside of our children, inside of our loved ones? It's all about reproduction, the war of reproduction. You know what I'm saying? I want the healthy, fruitful, righteous, natural organisms to multiply, be fruitful and multiply. The good flora, the good bacteria, the good gut bacteria, the good probiotics. All right? Be fruitful and multiply, because that's everybody's agenda. Satan's agenda is to be fruitful and multiply, and God's agenda is to be fruitful and multiply. So how are we supposed to do that? And how is we supposed to stop the enemy from being fruitful and multiplying? Yeah. So yeah, that's an hour. Good, brother Cam. All right. I'm gonna open the chat if y'all want to, say anything or ask any questions. And then I'll scroll up. Salute to all my wrench mobs. Knowledge. Walaikum salam, brother Cam. May Allah bless you, all your family. I need your prayers, brother. We all need each other's prayers, but the science of prayer has to do with specifics. So we need to know specifically what we need to be praying for, so we can focus in and hone in and will on that specific thing. I don't know if you want to speak your personal business. If not, you can hit me. My prayers ain't no better than yours. My prayers ain't gonna get to God no faster than yours. But if you're on the live asking for group prayer help, then you're gonna have to put some specifics about what we're gonna focus on, what we need to pray, laser focused prayers on the specific problem. Adrian X, salute, peace, my brethren, God mod squad, wrench mob God. Matthew Johnson, my your podcast bunk as your rap career was. Well, you over here, bless your heart. It's anti-bunk enough for you to be over here. So I won't get you out of here. I want you to stay and learn something, because I actually want you to be saved. Your demons is acting up. That's what happens with demons. When you start exposing them, they start acting out like that. So I was just accused of having a demon the other day by was that Tazariak, Captain Tazariak of the Hebrew Israelite or Israelites. That's what happens when you really start getting at them and you start uncovering the real demons. Then they're gonna call you a demon, and they're gonna start acting out against you. Dog Walk Rehab, are you saying such and such people just say it? This is YouTube, so why would I just say it? If this was my own platform, if I owned YouTube, then I would just say it. But you just said it, so don't worry about how I'm saying it. Tyreek, if you don't know me, homie, then yeah, for sure. Pull your 304 card. Righteous by nature, salute. Azazel Supra. Is Azazel a angel name? Is that a demon name? I don't know. Salute though. I thought I seen that somewhere. Is Azazel, is that a demon name allegedly from the Bible, or an angel name? So who was it? I'm not sure what you're talking about, free thinker. I'm going back, so I probably already answered some of this stuff. Jabril, Ahmad Jabril, salute. Wrench Mob, salute. Dog Walker, we have two type of people in this world, fake and real. Race is not a factor. Race is absolutely a factor. That's absolutely false. Race is absolutely a factor, Dog Walk. I got far more receipts and proofs that race is a factor than race not being a factor. So ain't no trust. I don't trust opinions. We go by provable receipts. Demetrius, Chicago, tapping in the building. Chi-Town, salute. Same day parlay, salute. Azim Shabazz, salute. Nate the Greatest, Wrench Mob, salute. Dog walk rehab. No, I don't smoke cigarettes. Nicotine patches for a different reason. Nicotine is a natural mineral, so you can do your own research and find out. I already gave you the site, Dr. Artist, the Dr. Artist Show.com, and just type in nicotine and you'll see what that's about. He didn't invent this. It's something that he discovered in nature about nicotine and what's going on right now. But no, I don't smoke cigarettes. Never smoked cigarettes in my life. Dave Lartie, salute. What's up? Compton and Watts, Hub and the Dub all day, every day. Much love. DJ EA, peace to you. I'm still scrolling down. Yeah, it's the same, folks. Eric Muhammad, salute on the black seed oil. Absolutely, yeah. Castor oil also. Yeah, castor oil also. There's so much stuff in nature, but I was trying to highlight the things that I've seen and researched as being the most potent or the most powerful that I studied or researched so far. But all of them, all of them, the natural, those natural things in nature, get busy. But the things that I'm highlighting is what I have researched so far to actually be the strongest out of all those things. Knowledge, say I have surgery in the morning. But I hear you, Knowledge, but so, we on that, but I'm still saying it had to be specific. Like, you can't halfway do it, bro. Like, you got to either be specific or don't say nothing at all. I mean, not to put it to you like that, but if you really want specific help, prayer works a certain kind of way. Willing and visualizing works a certain kind of way. So it's not an abracadabra thing. Like if you go to the hospital, if you go for a surgery, they know exactly what they're going after. And we people that pray and will need to know exactly what we're going after. It's the same principle. Nate the Greatest, there you go. Thank you. It's the drartistshow.com. Everybody go there. I don't know him. He ain't paying me. You know what I'm saying? I recognize, just like this deworm for parasite cleanse protocol and this dude that's talking about the Bible with all these pictures of white Jesus and white angels and all of that. I don't know him, but I know how to extract priceless, meaningful, powerful, relevant, timely information from my enemies, from ignorant people, from fools, from children, and give it to you, highlight it for you, because I know this is what you need. This is what we all need. I'm already doing it, but I'm just trying to put it in a visual way and visualize it so you can comprehend it. I'm going to do it with or without you. I'm already doing, me and my family doing it with or without you. Just like I always done everything with or without the masses of my people, and they're gone and I'm here. God willing, I'm going on 56 years old. I still can run outside and hit a round off flip flop back. I can still play with my children, tennis. I can still play hoops with my son. I still can do everything I did when I was in my teens and my 20s. I'm telling you what I'm doing. You don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you cool without it, then I'm cool without it. My job is just to put it out there, get your blood off my hands. I'm bitter and weak and whack, and I'm a demon, and my rap career is a failure and all of that. All right. But I'm here healthy and happy with a beautiful family. You here listening. You know what I'm saying? Y'all paying enough attention to me to be ops. So I don't want you to die. I don't want you to be destroyed. I want you to get spanked. You need your ass spanked, symbolically, you know what I'm saying? Verbally or spiritually. You need your ass, spiritual ass need to be whooped for sure. But I don't want you to be dead if you descendants of slaves. But that's on you. Whatever that's going to happen, whatever that's going to be on you. That's your choice. Your body, your ass, your choice. Right? That's all y'all. Jabril, Cam, you familiar with fenugreek? Yeah, all of that. We took all of that in Compton. Dr. Goss, New Body Herbs. We used to have comfrey, fenugreek, flaxseed, chia seed. Yeah, we did all of that. We on all of that. Dog walk, rehab, still love you though. What, you wasn't loving me? What you mean? Hop on the live with me, man. We good. I don't know what you said. I skipped something. I don't know what you're talking about. I learned something today about nicotine. Why is my life work resume disprove everything you have said? I'm about this. I'm a sheepdog. Hop on the live with me. I don't know what you mean. So you would have to dog walk rehab. You have to hop on the live with me. Otherwise, I can't respect you. You know, I don't believe that you still got love for me or nothing. If I'm on here verbally and visually every night, and I'm calling for people that if you know something that you claim that we don't know or I don't know, but you won't get on the live here with me and share it like I'm sharing it, or just, you know, match wits, challenge what I'm saying, disprove what I'm saying, or show that what you have is better, then I can't respect it. And I won't promote it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the first billboard. Every individual that's claiming something, we're the first commercial that anybody is going to see. If I'm talking about health and I look like a mess, then my commercial is trash. Why would anybody want to, you know, follow my advice or buy my product or whatever? Look how I look. You know what I'm saying? Or look how I sound, or look how I'm scared to show up or scared to show my face. So I can't really respect nobody that claim they know something that they won't show up and prove it. They won't show up. So that's all. I'm here every night calling people out, challenging people, right? On whatever I'm talking about. I stand on it. I be standing on it too much. My back hurt. My back hurt. I'm standing on it too much. My toes, my heel. You know what I'm saying? My toes, my 10 toes is so planted. And then as soon as I sit down, and y'all be like, where you at? You ain't like, okay, I got to just stand up all day, all night. I got to be a horse. I got to sleep standing up. Because y'all looking for any excuse for me to look like I'm sitting down, or I ain't fully pressing my line, banging my line. So it's crazy. Jim, appreciate the wisdom lessons. No lie, MGT is what I fear to let down. Allah knows best. Peace to the Muslima, the great as well. They're great as well. Absolutely. Ain't nobody like the MGT. Like the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, I can sit on top of the world, and I am on top of the world. And I can tell everyone that the most beautiful nation is in the wilderness of North America, especially the sisters, but do not let me catch any sister other than herself in regards to living the life, the righteous life, and weighing properly. Weighing don't mean just you overweight, but your actions, our morals, our dress, you know what I'm saying? The way that we act at home and abroad, in the public and in the private. Don't get off balance. Don't get off, other than ourselves. But yeah, that's my inspiration. That's definitely what I do this for. I do this for my wife. I do this for my daughters, my nieces, my granddaughters. I got 2 granddaughters. Yeah. So I'm with you. Righteous by nature said to knowledge, ask Allah God who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad to guide everyone who is on the surgery team throughout your procedure. Get plenty of rest so you can have successful recovery. Thank you, Righteous by nature. That's a prayer for knowledge. Ask Allah, God. I guess he's saying for you to ask Allah, and he's saying that we ask Allah, God, who came and who is in power in the person of Master Fard Muhammad to guide everyone who is on your surgery team throughout your procedure, and get plenty of rest so you can and will have successful recovery. So that's what Righteous by Nature and myself pray in the name of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and in the name of Father Khan Muhammad, our Messiah. I mean, but we do, need to know the specifics of what we praying for. So, but yeah, let's hour 15 minutes. Here is again the StreamYard link. StreamYard link. If anybody wants to speak on anything, I also played yesterday some of the Tazariot. Y'all saw that, the reaction of a reaction, and I'm on that time also. I'm calling out the showdowns, you know what I'm saying? I'm keeping track. Anybody that that I, personally, and I'm not saying that I'm nothing special, but I'm just charting and journaling my own interactions with people that had so much foul stuff to say about Farrakhan or Master Fard Muhammad or Elijah Muhammad or the NOI. If you said it with me and I called you out, then I'm monitoring you. And I want the people that know you or the people that saw any of those interactions to monitor you and date it. Like, so if it was yesterday, April 6th, or before that, April 5th, or whatever, then we want to mark that, and we want to mark, what happens between now and 30 days, and then what happens between now and 60 days, and then what happens between now and 90 days. The clock starts with any new person like that. Everybody ain't under the same time. I might come across somebody next week, and they 30 days don't start until, I declare that on them. So, not saying that it's limited to that, but I want to be specific. I want my God to show and prove publicly, specifically according to specific time frames. Because, the number 3, 6, and 9, 30 and 60 and 90 is very significant. And that's how these things work. It don't have to take that. It can happen the same day. Actually, certain things happen the same day, yesterday or day before yesterday, that I know is frightening. I know it's frightening for the ops. And I know they didn't want to publicly agree to that. You really don't want to publicly agree to it now after certain demonstrations that just happened recently, in your own mind, in your own dreams, in nature, in your own city. So, don't fear my God. I got the fake white man God. I don't fear yours. You know what I'm saying? I be sleeping like a baby. I feel extra comfortable. I feel extra relaxed when I'm able to get that off on you. So we'll see. We'll see. Engine number 9. 369. Tesla said those numbers were the key to the universe. Yeah, Tesla is our Muslim son, our Muslim Shriner son. Tesla learned that from the original God that gave him those type of visions. Tesla was given visions by original black gods in his sleep. Just like other people that get this curse work, get whipped on and get scared in their sleep. And they get scared when they wake up and they see that the same God has the power over the forces of nature to whip on their ass. So we'll see, though. We'll see. What do I know? Just a washed up, bitter bunk rapper. Powerhouse say the other N word is a must watch. Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. But, they saying that we trying to tell them what to do. It ain't must watch. I don't gotta watch nothing. I don't must watch. I don't gotta must watch nothing. All right, man. You don't have to watch nothing. You don't. I just have to do this to get your blood off my hand. You can do what you like, Digital Underground. Rest in peace, Shock G. Do what you like. Yeah. You just can't say that you wasn't warned. You wasn't informed. Righteous by nature, so-called Captain Tez needs to keep studying to show himself approved. I'm just saying, I need to keep studying. Everybody need to keep studying. Yeah, I need to show myself approved, not just by studying. The reason why I even do what I do is to work off the sins and the crimes that I know I done committed in my life that I'm not sure that God, Allah has fully pardoned me of. Certain things, even if I am forgiven, it don't mean I don't constantly have to be in a state of paying certain restitutions because, certain effects last for a lifetime if certain things or whatever. So I'm constantly studying and trying to submit and trying to please my God because I got crimes or whatever against humanity. But so that's what I'm doing this for. So I don't fear what the people fear. I don't fear what other religious people fear. I don't fear what many or most of my own NOI, FOI, and MGT brothers and sisters fear. I don't really necessarily desire what they desire. I don't fear what they fear. I'm really not, my grade level or whatever I'm on, whatever my motivation might not be the same. A lot of us are here for different reasons at different times, different grade levels. It's a lot of people in the gym. If you go to Gym 24-Hour Fitness, LA Fitness, or whatever, a lot of people is in the gym, but they there for different reasons. It's good, period. Whatever your reason is, if you in the gym and you're not cheating, it's good. It's all good that you're in the gym. But many of us is in the gym or in the mosque or in the nation or into this science or into this self-discipline or whatever for different reasons. And I know I've been in it for a different reason because life for me has always been hell. So I'm not pleased by this life. I'm not pleased by what this life or these, people got to offer, this money, this fame, these females. It just, it don't do it for me. It really makes me even more furious or dissatisfied or whatever. So my peace is in my God and knowing that the God suffered and went through the same thing, was feeling the same rage and anger and disappointment and frustration and, for this world and his people that's running this world right now that I'm going through. So he can relate to me. He understands what I want to do. And I hope he pleased the patience and the faith that I displayed and not jumping the gun and trying to do nothing and crashing out. So, but I have jumped the gun and did stuff and whatever, like, what I'm saying? So I just beg and pray. And this is how I try to prove my restitution or my atonement by making myself all the way available and making myself transparent enough and sharing what I'm going through with y'all because y'all probably going through the same thing I'm going through or suffering the same things I'll be suffering. So Dog Walk, why you still typing, bro? Why you won't hop on the live with me? I don't want to block you. I don't want the wrench mobs to block you. But you keep typing when I asked you to show yourself. If you say you 46 and you look 30, you don't hear and show it, prove it. We want to see what you look like, want to hear what you look like. I don't want to see what you type like. We already seen that. So don't keep typing over here with me, because if you keep typing over here with me, then I'm gonna block you from this whole channel, and I don't want to block you from the channel. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let your light shine. Don't let your keyboard click. You know what I'm saying? Show yourself. Show yourself approved. Show yourself. You might be all of that in a bag of chips. You don't care? Well, you out of here then. Goodbye. See, ain't that simple? That's simple and quick and painless. Goodbye. So not only do you not look 46 or 33, you look zero. You look unborn at this point. You look unconceived. You look ageless. But yeah, man, it's KAM-PAIN live show. Monday, April 7th. We talk about parasitic worm infestations and demon possessions, and like you can see, the acting out of demons. You know, we don't have to tolerate them, but you know, you show them mercy. You know, you show them patience and tolerance and whatnot. But if they're causing a nuisance, you're disrupting other people's focus that really might be trying to, you know, absorb and digest what I'm saying, but then you distracting them with, you know, your own little story. Start your own page, you know, get your own. If you're on YouTube, then you got your own page. You don't need to be over here. If you're 46 and look 30, you need to be selling what you're selling over there. You know, why are you over here? So salute and blessings, righteous by nature, salute. That's right. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share, notification bell, all that good stuff. We're talking about parasites, microscopic parasites, human parasites that has possessed us and that's responsible for so much of the demonic actions, thoughts, mental conditions, physical health, illnesses and disease and afflictions that we suffering. And just by identifying that that's a main cause gives us a target and a focus to go after. If we want to be healed, we want to be cured, we want to eliminate the dis-ease or the problem that we suffer, mental or physical, you know, we want to be able to go to the root cause of it. So now if we identifying the root cause of it, and I'm showing you what I'm doing, the beginning of this year, personally, I went 9 days, fasted 9 days from January 1st to January 9th, no food whatsoever. Just water for 9 days. So I started out this year like that. And then afterwards, in Ramadan, I did, I think 3 days. I was fasting every day, but I did the end of Ramadan, the last 3 days with no food. So I'm practicing what I preach and I'm experimenting on myself and I'm reporting in to y'all how I feel, what it did for me, what it didn't do for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best I can do. Best I can do is be a good example, a brother. Now, I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not the supreme being, all-knowing God. I'm just a student brother like you, you know, fighting against the real enemy, identifying the enemy, showing that you don't have to be afraid of them. You don't have to be quiet and silent. You don't have to hide your face. You don't have to hide your voice. I've been doing this for a long time and actually got more respect from Satan and from the devils than anybody else that I know that's hiding or acting like they slipping through the cracks. No, you living in fear or you living a lie. You scared to tell the truth regardless of whom or what. So that's a hell. That's a form of hell to me. That's a form of bondage or slavery to fear that you're going to lose your job, fear you're going to lose this or lose that. Well, I don't live on that. Thank God. Widely transposed. Salute. I'm late, but I'm definitely got to watch the replay because I'm about to parasite cleanse and water fast. Absolutely. You own it. You own it. Yeah, definitely watch this. You know what I'm saying? You could actually start watching it now or whatever because I've been on here an hour and a half. Mr. Brooks, computer chips, nano dust, parasitic forces operating them. Computer chips, nano dust, parasitic. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but yeah. Yeah, it's the forces. Once we learn what the forces are, then we learn that we have the power to control them and manipulate them ourselves. We're not slaves. We are in control. We are in control of our own selves, our own thoughts, our own body. If we decide to discipline ourselves and just don't put anything into our body, don't put anything into our ears, don't just listen to anything, just don't look at anything, just don't eat or drink anything. Discipline. Start guarding the entrances. Start guarding your entrances. The entrance to your brain through your eyes. Guard what goes in your ears. Guard what goes in your nose. Definitely guard what goes in your mouth. Guard what goes on your skin, because that's how the enemy is getting through. That's how the enemy is penetrating, you know what I'm saying, our defenses. 808 Game Banger, base station. Hell to me is the same thing happening every day. Yeah, that would be hell. I don't think that's happening to everybody, though. I don't think no day is the same, but I understand what you mean. That's why creation in the universe and every human being got their own fingerprint. Ain't no two snowflakes ever alike. So the same thing is not happening every day, actually. You know, if we ain't growing and changing, then we deteriorating. We either growing and getting stronger, or we deteriorating, getting weaker. We either dying or living, but we ain't staying the same. That's one thing that's constant in the universe is change. Everything is changing, whether we like the direction we changing in or not. Look up smart dust. No, I'm aware of certain so-called graphite, so-called nano graphite particles that, and other little blobs and stuff that they're doing on a nano level that's moved by electromagnetism or metals or G5, they say Wi-Fi, whatever, EMF, radiation, or, you know, electromagnetic forces and this and that. But, you know, I'm more trying to deal with stuff that I know we can control. You know what I'm saying? All of this can be controlled by certain detoxes, heavy metal detoxes and chelations and fasting and certain herbs that bind and bond to those unnatural foreign particles. So I don't want to overwhelm nobody and, you know, flood them and make them scared and make them think that it's just too much to keep track of. I like just to hit them with the stuff I know that they can handle. That's right. Righteous by Nature. Subscribe, like, share, hit the like button, hit the share this with your loved ones, with your family, share this with your homies, barbershop, beauty shop, your pastor, your teacher, your grandmama, your children. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and also do that on my personal channel, West Coast Cam, on YouTube, West Coast Cam. Yeah. The more you hide and run from it, the worse and larger the repercussions are. Right. Yeah. But I guess that's it, man. If there's nothing else, you know, something else y'all want me to talk about, I don't want to be overkilling subjects that I already talked about. Righteous by Nature, can you tell us the Wormwood brand name? I don't promote no brand names. What I'm doing right now is this Dr. Artist. It calls Nate. The brand is called Nature Wins. Nature Wins. Nature Wins. You see it up in the corner. It's too small, but it say Nature, and under there it say Wins. So the brand name is Nature Wins, and you get it from Dr. Artist online. The Dr. Artist. I mean, the Dr. Artist Show. Pardon me. The drartistshow.com. The drartistshow.com. And I don't know him. I discern, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing that he's a whistleblower, and I'm seeing certain things that he blew the whistle on and blew the roof off during the pandemic, and people have been trying to silence him and shut him down for the longest. So based on that, I sacrificed my own self, and I put myself in the laboratory and testing his little product. But he tell you himself, like, you don't have to buy mine. Mine is just a combination of herbs that I've been testing. I've been giving to his family and his people or whatever. Just like my ionic colloidal silver. Like, I'm not the only one that makes that. I'm just the only one I trust. I'm just the only one I trust. I'm not saying that this is the best, the best parts per million or the best concentration of it, but it's the best one that I trust because I made it. You know what I'm saying? So same with him. If you trust somebody that, that produces wormwood and black walnut, and black seed oil and carbachol oil or oregano oil, like, go with who you trust, but use these products, use these herbs, use these natural herbs. It don't have to be from Dr. Artist or from me or from nobody. Go where you comfortable. Use whose herbs you think is, the highest quality that you research, that's organic or that's, not mixed with no other fillers or no other stuff like that. Use it. Do something to go to war with these parasites, these demons, these microscopic demons. We must do that. All of us dang near are suffering from bacterial overgrowth, negative bacterial overgrowth, heavy metal, neurotoxic conditions, pathogens, microbes. We all suffering from it. All of our immune systems have been compromised. So this is the war. This is the war. Don't, people be like, man, I gotta go stock up on me some ammunition, man. These rednecks and this. No, that's not the war. That's not the war. That's not the enemy. No, the enemy is already inside your body, and you ain't doing nothing. Ain't no amount of guns and rocket launchers or whatever you think you is going to take care of that enemy. That enemy is already kicking your ass from the inside. Yeah. Salute, righteous by nature. Salute. Much appreciated. Much love. Bro Mike, wa alaikum salam. Original black God, Asiatic Lord and Savior. My brethren, OG. But yeah, man, that's it. So I'm not going to overdo it. Like, subscribe, share. Like I said, if God put it on your heart, you already know. Support by hitting the Cash App or by going to westcoastcam.com and picking up, your ionic colloidal silver or books or any other products, little music downloads. Much love, much appreciation, much respect, much peace and blessings to the righteous, and much war and victory over your goofy ass to the wicked, to the hypocrites. On that note, man, KAM-PAIN show live till tomorrow, God willing. Peace.